each player. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Hey, we should be streaming on Twitch live right now, so anybody can hear us. If anything going
Ooh,
on,
hello, Twitch.
let us know. We're just kind of getting started, getting everything ready. Um, Other than that, I think I'm gonna stream to Facebook Live today. What do you think, guys?
Ooh, fun.
Let's
I'm
really
excited.
scare people.
Hey, do you think did we take a short rest? Or do we still have our wounds?
That's up to y'all whether you heal yourself or not. Not me.
Mechanically inclined, so I'm gonna say.
Let's see.
I'm gonna try to do
Let's wait to see what everyone else does.
Let me try to fix the screen a little bit. We are now live streaming on the Books of Face.
The Books of Face.
The Books of Face.
Okay, cool.
Hi,
First full night's
Bookface.
rest. The character
Fix the
recovers
screen a
one
little bit.
wound.
All right. Everybody go and give me a Destiny roll, so we can get that
Okay.
up. Since we have to do it every single time. Ooh.
No bueno.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of session, I see.
Yep. Yep, it is really that kind of session.
Nice. 2, 3, 4 total, and all evil. That means I can't use them.
That means you can use them,
I
but
know.
we can't.
I know. Oh, sorry. All right, let's clear that screen off. Other than that, guys, if you are watching on Twitch, just know that we will not be responding to any questions or whatever, pretty much on the Twitch stream. It's just kind of a watch so we can kind of keep the story going. If you can't hear us, let us know on that. That way we can follow it and keep everything going. Other than that, we're pretty much solid.
Meant excitedly or whatever. Always enjoy that.
So let's go ahead and do a quick rehash. So we get everything going. Y'all loaded up, went to a ancient planet, found some ancient artifacts, but something was stolen from you from a Gavanna, and she took them off and left y'all to deal with the droids. Y'all managed to kill the droids. You get back to the spaceship, find out that there was something there, and worked with the data. The data now went and sent you to this one place, the derelict spaceship called Home. And y'all rushed there very quick because of what reason you don't know, but you were told that you had to get there ASAP. Traveled there, right into an asteroid field. In the process of running the asteroid field, Turk got banged up. He didn't have a seatbelt on, and was knocked unconscious. And so that's pretty much where we were. You had docked with the home planet, and when you docked with home, you were given some supplies, most likely, some weapons. And the door was opening. Anybody got anything they want to say, do, whatever, before we get started?
Did we define that blaster rifle, which I have?
They found you a blaster rifle, nothing special about it. Just standard blaster rifle.
Okay.
Just a standard one, so if you have that, get that in your stats.
That.
Yep, get that in your stats. Also, we were pretty good solid on the rules, so nothing was outrageous, nothing huge, grievous rule breaking, I guess you should say.
Any feedback on that? Or did you just look it up later?
What do you mean, feedback?
Oh, I don't know. Did anyone say, like, I can't believe you guys got this rule wrong or something?
No, we didn't. No, everybody knows not to mess with you, Tim.
That's hardly fair.
Whenever Tim says something, it's like the word of God.
I like rules.
Yeah. No, I mean nothing was bad. Nothing that was so grievous that it was a big problem. So we're okay. Other than that, like I says, oh, sorry, you are at the dock, the door to go in, and A7 is like, guys, you need to get that Jedi holocron before Gavanna does, because if it does, who knows where that's going, and we need it to be brought back to Kashyyyk, and so, or not Kashyyyk, Korriban, and placed with the other Jedi artifacts. I cannot see if she's here. Radar is malfunctioning at this time, so we don't even know if she's here. The only reason why we were able to dock was some advanced piloting skills by Mel. So other than that, get it done, get out, come back safe. Even you, twerp. And he just turns away as he gives you that look. So, before we go in, anybody want to do anything, say anything, whatever, before we go?
He gave us lightsabers too, right? Like actual
Correct.
lightsabers.
Yes, an actual lightsaber.
Including me?
Yes, even you.
Ho ho!
So you have basic, standard lightsaber. There's nothing special, nothing great, nothing completely awesome. Although lightsabers are awesome, but it's
I
just
got the
basic.
profile here described as basic lightsaber.
Yeah, basic lightsaber. Go to the basic lightsaber
Reach
rule.
and sunder. You can through doors with this thing.
Yes, it is. It is still a very powerful tool. So, other than that, anybody else have anything?
And quietly prays.
Okay, y'all are sitting there, and you. Gan doesn't move for a minute. Y'all kind of inch forward, and Gan just stops.
I was gonna say the requisite. I've got a bad feeling about this. And, ready her new lightsaber.
Okay.
Frizz actually will do the same. As immature as she can be at times, she takes lightsabering very, very seriously, and she's ready to take care of it now.
Okay. While you're doing that, let me see. There's a skill check I wanted you to do, and I want you to make a cool check.
Everyone? Or
No, just her.
Okay.
Which check again?
Cool. COOL.
Cool check. Oh,
Cool check.
I think I have a bonus for that. Let me check here quick.
Literally keeping your cool.
Yeah.
As the case may be.
I do.
All right.
I'm proficient in coolness.
Too cool. You get it,
Too
and you
cool.
kind of light it up, and as soon as you light it up, to test it out, figure out how it works, you hear behind you A7 is like, "Don't cut your head off," and then you just kind of it's kind of like in the background and stuff, and he just goes off, and the doors are open, guys, and it is kind of creepy when you look in. It's got that flashing light, like the twitching things are not working properly. You can tell that the atmosphere is there, but there is definitely something wrong with the electronics and the lighting within the ship. And you actually come to pretty much what's an airlock going to the front of the ship. The ship is somewhat similar. It's like a hammerhead type ship. I don't know if I told you that. Where it's got a long, narrow body, a square type head, and a square to rectangle rectangle type thruster area. Mm-hmm. Kind of, if you wanted to go, you could say it was kind of like the Princess Leia's ship, kind of like that, but not as big or whatever, but same style. So, up to y'all.
Okay. At this point, Mel's gonna assume the Form 3 traditional stance, like lightsaber held in two hands right in front of her, ready to block blaster bolts, and she's gonna say, "Let's go," and she's gonna head into the ship, moving at a brisk pace.
Okay. Anybody else?
Frizz just gonna mumble, "I have a bad feeling about this place," and very hurriedly follow behind.
Okay.
Anne takes up the rear, being vigilant
Okay.
with the blaster.
All right. You come in and you come into the airlock. The door closes behind you, and then the door in front opens up, and it's the same thing. The flickering lights, but you come into a pretty large open area. Um, you can tell that this is the area leading up to the cockpit and bridge support. And this looks like where like the lasers would have been controlled from. And as soon as you step in, you feel this wave come over you. I need everybody make a fear check with only one negative.
Why do we roll for that? Cool.
Cool.
Cool. And we put
One purple.
one purple. Okay.
It's a pretty good roll.
Yep. Everybody's pretty much good. Gan's going to have something happen. But other than that, you kind of walk in and you hear as soon as you all kind of step in, you hear the spaceship go and just creak and moan like you stepped on like the floor is going to give out right underneath you. And you can just feel this wave of like exhaustion or a wave of fear, like, oh crap, when is this thing's going to blow up? But other than that, everybody's got it good, no problem. And you're pretty much right in this area. You can tell that there's a door going to your right, which heads down back towards the rest of the ship, and then a door that is blown away and kind of opening and closing a bit, going, and shuddering kind of haphazard and diagonal up towards the bridge area.
We're told we're looking for a Jedi holocron, right?
Correct.
And we don't have any information about where that's going to be on this ship.
No, we do not.
Mel's going to trust her instincts and head over to the blasted open door and see if she can force it open or make sure that she can get through it safely with her mechanical ability.
Okay. You can do it. You can actually kind of squeeze because one door's pulled fully away and then the other one's kind of trying to close.
She'll say, I got a sense it's probably this way.
Okay, so you're going to go towards the bridge?
Yes.
Okay. You go into the bridge, and it's pretty much not existent. You can tell that someone had blown a lot of this away. Like the seats where you sat are not going to be there. There's sparks and going off constantly, but you see a droid sitting down connected to the ship right now. And it's in low power function.
Okay, Mel's gonna head over to the droid. She's gonna orient herself so that she's like visually in front of it and crouch down a little bit, and then try to get its attention, assert it, or get it out of low power function.
Okay, you go to try to hit to low power function off, and it stays in low power function, but is still able to communicate.
Okay. We're here looking for a holocron. We're trying to retrieve it. Our quest is of some urgency. Can you tell us what happened to the ship?
Okay, you try to talk to it, and you can tell that there's something wrong with the voice communication in it. If you would like to use a computer check to try to work on it, go ahead. An easy difficulty, so one purple.
I was pretty sure she knows stuff about computers just by being smarter than other people in the room. It's been the approach that worked in the past, so she's not got a lot of experience with computers, but she'll give it a try.
Oh yeah, you sit there and you're like, and you just twinge your finger just a bit, and it's like it clicks on, and you hear the voice come through the entire ship.
Oh gosh.
Every communication speaker comes through the entire ship. And it's like, it's all it's doing is repeating a distress signal. And the last, we need help here, blah, blah, blah type thing at this location. But it's going through only the speakers and the communication system within the ship. Everybody make a cool check. Single difficulty. You can't win for losing, Gan.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all sit there and Mel and Gan kind of twitch for a second. Fitz is like, It's like, yeah, wait a minute. And all of a sudden you hear the ship really groan and sounds like something crashing around behind you, back down towards the other direction. And the ship actually kind of shudders and moves a bit and shakes.
Mel, believing that she has to finish this and get out of here as quickly as possible, turns her lightsaber on again and rushes down the corridor.
Okay. You get out of that room. Anybody else following?
Frisbus has to. She runs after Mel.
It's going to be a recurring theme, I suspect.
Okay. Gan, are you going to follow behind?
Yep.
Okay. You follow behind, and all of a sudden, that door that you were supposed to go in was closed is now completely open. And it's come, and you've got a corridor to walk down. It's rough.
Mel's not walking down it. She's running down it. Like,
Okay. You see Mel is just
figure out what's going on.
tearing down this hallway. It tears down, and then it kind of does this little, wavy pattern to go left and right, and then it turns immediately right and opens up into two doors, one on your left and one in front of you.
Mel's going to wait a moment for the rest of the group to catch up with her.
Okay.
And then she's going to say, I have no sense of which way to go here. Any thoughts?
Frizz finally catches up, and she is out of breath. Can she make a check to see if there's any signs of a person's presence, like unscattered dust or?
Yeah, go
footprints
ahead.
even?
Go ahead, and I would say, what would be a good one for that? Just a simple knowledge check of vigilance. Go with vigilance.
Vigilance. Okay.
Yeah. That's your best one, I would say.
Any difficulty for that, or just
Standard difficulty.
straight check?
Give me two purples.
Okay.
Ooh.
Aw.
You roll. You look around, and you don't really notice anything particular. Nothing breaks out to you. Nothing stands out. So other than that, you're like, nah, no one's been here for a while.
Let me take a try at this.
Okay.
Please
After
do.
all, it is my my religion to find things.
Go ahead.
And so he pretends to do some mystical things. And is this also a vigilance roll or
Yes.
a perception roll?
Go for perception.
Okay.
If you have if perception is better for you, go for that.
Vigilance is better for me.
Go for vigilance because this might happen. Okay. You look around. Yeah, that's like your standard roll again.
It is.
2 successes and then oh fuck.
2 successes and a threat.
Yeah. You look around and nothing really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like I said, you have the door in front of you and a door to your left. The door to the left looks like it goes further deep into the ship.
Both doors are closed, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm at this point Mel is just anxious about the event. So she says, let's go left. Let's follow that approach. And she tries to open that door.
Okay. That door opens, no problem. It opens up, and all of a sudden, you hear wind being sucked out from behind you, and it's coming out. There seems to be, you're getting pulled through the door as you've noticed that you have breached an airlock, that something has been let into the atmosphere on this side. The atmosphere is leaking out when you open that door going to the left.
Is it quite forceful, or can we?
No, it is
normal,
quite forceful.
back?
You're going to have to make
Okay.
a strength check not to fall over
Man.
or get pulled through it.
Not a thing Mel's very good at.
So an athletics check is what you're going to be looking for.
Standard
Is that for
difficulty?
all of us? Yeah.
Yes. Mel, you have the hardest difficulty. You're definitely 2 purples. Everybody else is 1 because you're behind Mel.
Yay! No threat.
I am ranked in athletics.
Well, I got some successes this time.
Yes, you reach up and you actually grab a hold of the door, but you take 2 strain because of it's ripping your arms pretty hard and solid.
All right, so Mel seals the door shut again, and she turns back to everybody and says, "Well, obviously, that's the wrong choice. It's certainly this reach. I hope the holocron's not in that part of the ship." Uh, Braces herself against part of the wall and carefully opens the other door.
Okay. Tim, you're getting really quiet, so probably
Sorry,
may
here,
have to speak up a little bit. Yeah,
better?
it's going in and out a little bit. It's like the end
Okay,
of your
how's that?
sentences or beginning. Much better. Let's keep trying that. Okay, you open it up and it automatically opens up, no wind rush or anything, and you come into what are called crew quarters. You can see beds and where people would sleep. And then there's a door on the other side, directly across from
Okay.
you.
Um, Mel's gonna step into the room, kind of see if she kind of gets a sense about anything in it. Not actually investigating any of the quarters per se, but just sort of like, does anything kind of call to me? And then after taking a moment, if nothing jumps out at her, she's gonna just head straight to the next door.
Okay. Nothing comes out. You can tell that this was crew quarters. God, excuse my dogs. Sounds like the other half is home. And you can go across the other side of the door.
She'll again hold herself kind of braced against something that she can, knowing that doors can be dangerous these days, and she'll try to open the door.
Door opens up, no problem, and it leads. And there's a path going to your right and to your left.
Frisbee's gonna
Um,
interject. We should not go to the left. It doesn't seem like a good idea.
And going to the right.
Okay.
Mel heads to the right and tries that door.
There is no door. It's just a hallway.
Well, then she just tries the hallway.
Yeah.
That seems
You go to the right, and it just opens up into like where people would clean or shower or take up and get things shower room, bathroom type stuff. Nothing big.
okay. Any obvious exits from this room?
Nope. It actually, when you walk up to it, you can tell that this goes pretty much almost to the back of the turbo laser battery room.
Mel's gonna spin around and head back to the split in the corridor, where before we went right, this time she's going to the corridor that would have been.
Okay. You come back and go to the left a bit, and it kind of does a small little left and right program, and then there's a huge set of doors onto your right hand side, and then a huge set of doors on your left hand side.
Lokia doesn't know a ton about ship geography, having only been on a handful of them before. But is there anything that it would make sense for these doors to be? Like, could this be some kind of like a hangar bay, or is this just sort of an architectural quirk?
No, you can probably tell that this might be someone who's had to bring in things that are pretty big.
Okay. And would it have been like, do these go to the vacuum of space, or are these going into like a larger portion of the ship?
Well, the one on the left might go to the vacuum of space because that's where the hallway was that you opened up and almost got sucked through. And then
not doing that.
yeah, that one's kind of pretty obvious. You're like, no, that side's not good. And the right, you can definitely tell that there's enough room between you and what would be the other side of the ship that it would probably be like a cargo bay or something.
Okay. She'll stop and turn to Gand. Not the finder here. Does this seem like a place where someone would keep a holocron? I feel like I'm wandering and somewhat lost.
Gand, as part of maintaining his mystique, sits down and pretends to meditate. And sits there for about 2 or 3 minutes, kind of quietly taking appraisal of the situation. Would piloting Planetary give me any kind of ideas on where things might be stored on a spaceship?
Not what he's asking for.
Yeah.
Because the holocrons are small. They're not large type things. They fit, you can hold them.
In your hand.
Yeah.
Or they float just above your hand.
Yeah. So, no, you don't have to worry about that at all.
No.
Proverbial needle in a haystack. At this point, we just have to search the ship.
It could be in a cargo hold, depending on how well defended it would have been when there were
Okay.
people.
I guess let's try it and see what we discover. If nothing else, it's a sense of what happened here. Mel's gonna try to open the large door that doesn't lead to the vacuum of space.
Okay. You open it
Hopefully
up.
it doesn't.
Yeah, you open it up. It
Hopefully.
shimmies up kind of creakily and just, and then finally comes up making a lot of noise. And it opens up into what's pretty much a cargo bay, where general storage, repair bay. You can tell that some things are, where you would fix things. And it extends from to the right and left.
Just general storage type stuff here. Are there lockers or is
Yeah.
there anything? I guess at this point, Mel's gonna take a few minutes and she's gonna just start investigating
Okay.
if there's any areas that people may have stored valuables or things that could be important.
You go right ahead. Give me a perception check if you want to look around and see if there's anything in particular.
Rushing into rooms without a plan, something Mel's pretty good at. It is also pretty decent. Just like noticing stuff around her that isn't ancient lore, not so much. But we'll investigate.
Okay.
Not especially well, I might add.
Okay. You do find a droid that is in low power mode that you look to your right.
Okay. Yeah. Mel's gonna try turning on the droid. That seems more in her wheelhouse.
Okay. You sit there. Give me an average computer check.
Average computer checks are my jam.
Yeah. Just 2 purples. Good. You don't seem to find anything out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yep, I got this button. And you click it, and all of a sudden the droid goes behind you. Everybody make a vigilance check.
Oh no.
A vigilance check.
Average difficulty?
Average difficulty.
Succeed.
Vigilance really 3.
Okay. Everybody now give me an initiative.
Is
Oh, never mind. Vigilance did it. Let's see. Mel, so y'all got, and this one. Give me a second. And give me my dice. Is somebody playing with it?
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't understand how the initiative tracker works.
Yeah, I use y'all as that, and I'll do mine. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's Fizz. Okay. Good. Okay. Actually, let's do. Ooh, flip. Bad dude. All right. Actually, one too many. Let's get rid of that one because there's only 3 of you and me. All right. You do have first initiative, but I'll describe a scenario. You're sitting there, and all of a sudden, you've clicked the button and turned it on, and the droid sits behind you, and from behind you, you feel the ship shudder as this large droid with these huge tentacles comes crashing and just barreling through the place. And it just is like slashing and starts coming at you with these large tentacles. Common sense, well, you know what Krakens are. This is kind of a mechanical version of it, and you feel this, you see this, these large tentacles just start coming at you just crazily.
This is what that droid control.
So, initiative, y'all do have first initiative. So you choose someone to go first. It is within close range to all of you.
Okay. Is the droid controller? Like, is that a thing?
The droid controller is a thing. It
Okay.
does. It is there. You can use it if you need to, but that's up to y'all. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do.
Okay. I guess if it's okay with you folks, I think Mel's probably going to go first and see if she can use the droid controller to sort of shut this creature off or prevent it from attacking us.
Okay. You are going to try to get it? You will need to install it.
Oh, I see. Like the droid controller is a device you put on the droid. Is that right?
Correct.
And probably one has to subdue a droid first to do that.
You could try to climb on it and get on its body and try to put it in.
That
It
seems
might be difficult.
remarkably athletic.
Yes.
Okay. I think we're gonna work smart, not hard, and she's gonna ignite the lightsaber and occupy a defensive stance, and then move to engagement range.
Okay, you are already engaged. You've already got these tentacles right on
Oh,
you.
okay. Sorry. In that case, she's gonna take the lightsaber and she's gonna try to stop the droid.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me a combat check. With lightsaber. Okay. And do you want to spin that on anything?
Yes, I will. It to recover a strain. Can I do that?
Yes, you can. You can recover one strain with that. And what is your damage total?
I can't trigger a critical with it because that takes 2 on the lightsaber.
No.
So I'm gonna recover 1 strain, and then my damage total is 6, 7, 8 with a breach characteristic of 1. So I ignore 10 points of soak.
Correct.
Did my homework.
Yep. Sabers are good. They cut through almost anything. All right.
Metal.
So, since you decided to do that, it's decided it's going to go after you. It takes one of the dark side points. And is going to attack you, Mel, since you are right next to it. Nice.
Like an excellent choice.
Yeah, it did. It is actually going to do a activate 1 critical injury on you. As this tentacle reaches out and smacks you really hard. You will take 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. Soak is allowed. And you will take a critical injury as these tentacles come up and hit you really hard.
So I have a soak of 3, and I have parry. So I'm going to use parry,
Okay.
in which I have. And that means I can reduce the damage by 4. So I reduce the damage by 7 and take 3 damage, and the effects of the critical hit.
The effects of the critical is a roll. Is this 79? Put that. I'm looking at my chart. I can immediately make another attack against you. Or another attack. I can make another free attack using the same pool. So it's going to take it. It hits you. You kind of get knocked back as this big old metal tentacle just smashes into you and pushes you back. And it's going to make another strike. And it sees a little bitty munchkin and is going to do the same thing.
No. Horrible job of being a protector here.
Ah!
That's better. That's good.
You see this tentacle?
That's the end of that character.
Frizz, you see this tentacle come down and just come straight up from the air and just come straight down on top of your head and hit you. You take at least, you still get your soak, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
11 damage. My soak is 3.
Okay. And then up to 2. Your next attack will incur a black die instead of a critical, but you are knocked down.
Oh no. Okay. that thing did come straight down on my head, but what do you think I'd have an opportunity to parry it?
Yeah.
All right, then I will do so. I will artfully just parry it before I get knocked down to the ground.
Okay. Which means you
You
just
said,
roll, and that's just take off, what, 3? You take 3 strain and no damage?
yeah, I take a
Yeah.
3. I take 3 strain to remove 3 damage in my case. Yeah.
Yeah, because you haven't acted this round, so you can do the parry, correct?
Parry is just reactive. You if you have supreme parry, if you didn't act, you can strain instead of 3. But otherwise, you're just a Jedi parrying things with a lightsaber.
Okay. So just there's no higher. I can't remember. I knew there was something on it, but I couldn't remember exactly the full ruling on it.
There's a couple of weird ones, like reflect and parry are the reactive ones that cost a bunch of strain, and then there's other ones that more martial classes have that are like that you do an action to improve your defense and that kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
Yeah, because you just reduce the damage dealt by that hit equal to 2 plus your ranks in parry.
Yes.
Okay. Is that better to use the parry than to soak it?
It's both.
Is it? Okay. Whatever makes it easier on you, I'm all for it. Okay.
Okay. In my case, I soaked it and then did parry. If that matters.
Okay.
There's a turn order thing for that.
No, what it is you roll it and then it reduces the damage by whatever your parry skill is plus 3, isn't it?
Oh, you roll it. Okay.
No, not a roll. It's automatic.
Okay.
Whatever your parry skill is plus 3, and then you take the 3 strain and then the soak. Correct?
Okay.
So like in my example, I have 1 parry skill, and I can later on get more parry skills, but right now it's just 3, and I think you're probably.
Yes, I'm also at 3. You got it.
Yeah.
So I think I did math right here then.
All right, you do that and it hits you, but you still get knocked prone as this big old tentacle comes in and just smashes into you, and you get slammed back and just knocked prone onto the ground. But you held it up, and it kind of just the pure force of this huge tentacle hits you and just lays you out on the floor. You kind of hold it up like Tim was doing. You're holding it up, and you're holding it up like this, going ah type thing, and it helps, but it doesn't help enough. You two have the next initiative, so Gand and Frizz figure out who's going next.
Do you care if I just go ahead and become reactive to that thing first?
Go right ahead.
Okay. So I guess you would consider that a fall, correct? Because if that's the case, I'm conditioned.
Yes.
Which doesn't do too much, but
Yeah.
it removes one disadvantage die. Wait, did I take any strain or damage from that actual fall, or just the?
No, it just
conditioning
just knocks you down prone.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm knocked down prone. Frizz is going to think very quickly and look at her environment to see if there's any crates or barrels or anything she can jump onto to get an advantage, like a high ground in this situation here.
Give me a perception check.
A perception
What's the
test.
high
All
ground?
right. See, I slipped that in there.
That was good. That was good.
Perception. I am cunning, so I have an advantage in that. It's Is it standard difficulty?
Yeah,
Plus
standard
2?
difficulty. And the reason why we got a standard difficulty is just because there's all these lights and everything. You do find something.
All right. What is it, like a cargo crate or something?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of crates stacked up next to it.
Okay, Frizz, being so small and athletic, is going to do her best to get on there as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Probably through like an artsy front flip.
Okay. You climb up and you go up there to jump up and swing down on this giant mechanical kraken.
Perfect. That is what she's going to try to do. An attempt to cut it possibly like in half. She's going to come in swinging her sword in towards the left there. Combat check. I'm going to use lightsaber if that's the case then.
Yes.
All right.
And you still have a black die on this though.
I do. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at the lightsaber. I'm ranked 2 in it.
You come in and you definitely strike in on it, but as soon as you jump off, you kind of trip and fall down on it and not over it, or where. So when you land on it, you hit it and the saber goes in, and then you kind of bounce off like you've hit like a brick wall. You like jump, you're like, ah, hit. Lightsaber goes in, and then all of a sudden your face hits it and bounce. You know, your face and body hit it and bounce off. So you take a point of strain from over calculating the jump, but you definitely hit it. The total
Okay.
damage is what's the base of a saber anyway?
6.
6. So a total of 10. Good.
Total 10 damage.
You smash into it pretty solidly, but like I says, you kind of jump into it, stab in it, and then all of a sudden you slide in, and your body kind of hits the side of the main thing, and you fall down, taking a point of strain.
Oh, okay. Point of strain. Gotcha.
Gand, it is yours.
I'm gonna shoot it.
All right, go for it. It is a silhouette, 2 bigger than you.
Okay. So
It's a silhouette 2, while you're a silhouette 1, I should say, not 2 bigger.
2 larger is
It's 1 larger because you're silhouette 1. It's a
Okay.
silhouette 2.
okay. So it's not 2 larger yet. So
Correct.
It's still standard. And I hit it.
No
You
mitigating
go,
factor.
pew pew! You shoot it up, and it hits it right in the face, frying some circuits. What is the damage on that blaster?
Base damage is 9.
So a total of 10, but does get a soak.
Yep.
Okay.
Very, very Han Solo shot there, waiting till he attacks first and then shooting second. Right?
Yeah.
All right. You can tell that it is starting to spark and sputter, but you can definitely tell that y'all have done some pretty decent damage to it. We are going to the next round. Someone choose to go first.
Our existing order probably makes sense.
Yep.
Yes.
Brandish her saber and take another swing, hoping to fell this terrifying foe.
Okay. Laser sword. You swing into it, does some more damage. Definitely, you like chop off a tentacle.
It's 8 more points with reach
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, there's no hiding it. All right, you sit there and hit it really good. You can see a tentacle come off, a couple of tentacles. It's kind of slices, tries to hit you, and the 2 tentacles go flying off. And now it's gonna go. It is going to take another. Yeah, you're forgetting that, aren't you?
Scary stuff.
And
Such a dark place.
yep, it is definitely gonna go towards Fizz. Fizz, as you sit there, because as you hit it, you can feel this tentacle just kind of slap back at you.
Oh no, bro.
Oh.
Ouch.
You take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 again.
Okay, I gotta do some math here.
Okay, figure that out. I'll describe what happened. It takes this tentacle and slashes right back at you, hitting you pretty dang hard, but starts knocking a bunch of stuff all around it. And you notice that the ground is actually getting kind of treacherous. There's like debris all over it, knocked over some containers, and stuff is going to get in the way, which is going to increase difficulty by 1. If you plan on moving anywhere or fighting at all, which I'm sure you're going to fight.
I'm hoping to. She's going to quickly take an attempt to parry it, which would help her not take so much direct damage.
Okay.
So it's 11 with 3 strain.
And then drop the damage off. And then, of course, you get your soak still.
Okay. Ooh, she's really hurt.
That's it's not good.
Very
Um,
bad.
Man. So, she's gonna quickly examine her surroundings and make sure she can find herself a clear path.
Okay.
She is going to hold her lightsaber She's gonna hold her lightsaber straight up and try to go directly towards the center of the creature, trying to aim for like its head or eyes or sensory system, whatever it's got going on there.
So you're going to actually try to get an actual targeted attack?
Yeah, that's my hope.
That it will increase the difficulty.
Okay. She's
So
trying. She's reckless.
give that
Stupid.
2 purple, 1 red.
Ooh, 2 purple, 1 red. And that's gonna be a lightsaber check.
Correct.
It's 2 orange or yellow, 1 green. So Frizz is super reckless, irresponsible, and she's selfish, and she's going to flip a destiny point.
I dig it.
Oh, so selfish.
And you can, because you can flip the one that I flipped last round and not this round. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Looks good. You said 2 purple and 1 red. Okay,
1
got
red.
it.
And you got the yellow. Okay. You go in and you like, yeah, and it's kind of you miss, but you can tell the beast kind of backs up and moves away a bit because it preempts what you were doing. But you roll in and you don't hit at all. But it does. Your lightsaber goes to the ground and you're like, whoa! As you like kind of like weren't expecting it to go into the ship. You were expecting to hit, and you kind of trip and stumble.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
Newbie with a saber. Gand, it is your go. Yeah, because you stand, you go to stab with it, and he backs up out of the way, and it stabs into the ground, and you kind of shudder because it's hilt. You know, you're like goes down towards the hilt.
These lightsabers are too long.
Gand is going to maneuver to aim, and then take 2 strain to shoot.
Gotcha.
Just got this. Even you, Findsman.
He's like, aim, shoot. Okay. You can do something with that because it is not a negative effect. You can recover from strain. Add a blue die to your next opponent's or next person's roll.
I will add a blue die to Malokia's roll because she's going to be top of the round next time anyway.
That's perfectly usable.
You throw him off balance, and Mel's ready to take advantage.
All right, Mel, your turn. Go for it.
Okay, so Mel's seen the opening. Fritz has thrown him back a little bit, and the Gans shots set him off balance. So she's gonna jump in there and see if she can deliver a finishing blow.
Go for it.
That's a bad sound. Oh,
No.
Good sound. Good sound.
Yeah.
She's gonna trigger a critical.
Oh, really? Well, let's see. 3 successes and how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Successful attack effects. So yeah, go for it. What do you want to do?
So I can use 3 of those to do damage. So that's 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna trigger a critical. And then what else can I do with advantage? Can I have other people recover strain?
You can get rid of my defense bonus +1 to melee or range defense.
Can I give that to someone else or just to me?
No, just you.
Okay.
Target is disabled instead of taking suffering, but it depends on how much you're willing to, use and how you want to use it.
+1 to melee or range defense until the end of next turn.
Yeah, give yourself.
Okay, so I think I'm going to give myself +1 to melee defense because that seems apt.
Okay.
I'm going to recover a strain. I'm going to trigger a critical effect. And is that everything? Is that about right?
That looks like about right.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, I guess I'll recover 4 strain then?
7. Because a critical is 1. Plus 1
Critical's
is
2.
3. Your critical is 2. That's right.
Yep.
So that's 5. So you have 2 more.
Okay. So I'll recover 2 strain.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you're going to trigger a critical effect. Go for it.
Yes. Let's roll.
Okay. You roll a 6. And it can only you sit there and you jump into it and just waylay it with your saber, hitting it as hard as you can, and it rears back as quite a few of its tentacles are sliced off, and it kind of rears back on the back of its body and slinks back a bit, and it can now only activate at the end of this round.
Nice.
So Gand and Frizz, you may both go.
I guess we're gonna keep the same order here. So
Yep.
the Fizz is gonna go next. She's really upset. That was pretty embarrassing there, her fall. So she's gonna get up and make sure she tries her best not to trip and go in for another blow on the droid there. It backed up, so it's still pretty close to her. Where she
It's
can go and charge
definitely
it,
still
right?
within. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, wonderful. All right, well, she's going to run in and make a high jump and try to go down on its head, or for her, like its knees. We're going to do a saber check. Is it 2 perps and a red, or just 2 perps?
It's 3 perps because of the ground is cluttered with
That's
debris
correct.
now. Okay, you reach up and you go in to slice it, and you do some damage to it. How much damage do you do total?
No, that's a good question. How do I figure that bad boy out? Looking at my...
Base damage of the saber.
Okay. 2.
Your first little splashy star, which is a hit, that does your 6 damage, and then for every one beyond that, you get to add +1 to the damage.
Oh, that's really nice to know.
Oh.
Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9 damage then? Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I do
Okay.
9 damage.
All right, you hit it and do the damage, and all of a sudden, you can tell that there's some kind of pressure on you as you take 2 strain from just waylaying on it, because you're like, no, I'm not going to be beat by this thing, and so you wade through these tentacles, and it's slashing you as you're going in, and you just don't care, so you smash directly into its face, and then it frizzes out, and you can see the eyes twitch. And it shuts down.
She just aped out on that thing.
Ooh. Scary stuff.
And then...
Moment to center herself and turn the saber off.
Okay. The droid has been destroyed beyond, working function. And you can still hear the spaceship creak and moan. And the lights are still flickering. Other than that, what are you going to do, guys?
What do you want to bet Galvana got here first?
Well,
And left
certainly
that
her
little
pet
trap.
did. I mean, if that's the case, we'll here we can track her down. It seems like a valuable ally to just leave abandoned at the ship, but if she was hoping it would take us out, then maybe that's worth it to her.
She left the other 2 droids to take us out.
Guess I'm assuming this is a more impressive, but I guess a lot of people in the world see just droids as disposable.
It is true.
On that note, Mel's going to turn around and see if she can communicate with the power-saving mode droid that to look up behind them.
It has been shut down.
Try to start it back up.
It does not function.
He's gonna look through the remnants of the Kraken and see if there's anything that's salvageable. If there's any mechanical parts or things that could be used to or put together.
You could go ahead and do a knowledge check on it, but it is 4 purples.
Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Um,
Can't hear you.
purples. What? It's four purples ain't nothing, right?
Yeah, 4 purples ain't nothing.
Ain't no thing.
Okay, you look at it and you're like, yeah, we could use this part. Looks important, but you don't know what it is.
All right, she'll grab the looks important part and consider it later. Uh, should we check the rest of the ship? See if we can. I mean, maybe she's still here. Maybe.
While Malokia is salvaging, we saw what direction this thing barreled in from, right?
Correct. It came in from
And-
directly behind it.
Gand is going to sling the rifle over his shoulder, put his arms inside his robes, and walk that way.
Okay. You
Very
walk
cool.
that way. It'll probably take you get a couple of minutes of doing whatever you want because Mel's digging around. Frizz, anything you gonna do for a couple of minutes?
Frizz is really hurt. She's gonna shout that, Gand, I think you are going the right way there. But she is just gonna sit down.
Frizz is just like, all right, Gand, you walk that way, and it leads down to a corridor. And in that corridor leads down to a door.
I shout back that there's a door down here that it was guarding.
Maybe it's guarding her. Frizz is gonna jump up.
All right, go. What are you gonna do?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. She's gonna go ahead and she's gonna look back at Malikians, make sure she's still doing her thing, and walk to where she heard Gand's voice.
All right, you find Gand. He's at a door.
Yes, he
He
is.
might be behind this door.
Door number 1.
The whole world lies waiting behind door number 1.
I don't want to open it.
No whammy.
Don't look at me. I'm not there.
What do you think,
Now.
Gand? Should we wait for her?
Mal.
At this point, Mel's probably done her salvaging.
Yeah.
Okay, Mel's gonna head on over toward where they're yelling at her. And,
Mel, we need you to open this.
You're the
Take a
technically
stim pack
savvy
out.
one.
And inject Fitz with it. She's got one last impact to use that heals 5 wounds, so she'll use that.
Whew, that's some good stuff.
And then she'll take a look at the door. Does it seem like a standard operating door?
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Fun.
Okay. You push the button and it opens up, no problem. And there's a door in front of you, a large door to your right, and a door to your left.
Any obvious indication of where the droid came through? I mean, it's pretty big, right?
It was sitting in this room. It didn't crash through
Okay.
anything. You definitely was in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She'll look at the doors, see if the large one has a console or anything that would open it in a really obvious way.
Oh, yeah. Each door has an easy way to open them. No problem.
Okay. Start with the large door.
Okay, you
See what
open
happens.
that large door, and it opens up, and you can tell it's a docking port, an airlock.
Okay. Is there anything in an airlock that would indicate like if there's currently a ship docked with it or not?
Oh, yeah, you can go check the panel if you'd like.
Okay. Mel's gonna go check the panel.
There's a ship docked.
Turns back. There is a ship docked here. It could be her ship. Are we a boarding party?
That means she's probably on the ship. The
And
ship.
likely armed and well equipped.
Get out of the airlock.
Okay.
Okay, so you get out. You got the other 2 doors. You're gonna close this airlock door or what?
Can we disconnect her ship?
No.
No, darn.
We clearly need to
Tractor
come
here
to
with
these
us.
circumstances with more explosives.
Yes, yes, we do.
Likely she has the holocron, or if she's still on the ship retrieving it, she's got to come back to her ship. Do we want to go in and see what's... Is there anything we can find there?
You're gonna go which way? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Sorry. I'm asking the group here.
Oh.
Do we want to board her ship? At this point, it feels risky and a little dangerous, but also maybe our best course to retrieve this holocron.
This one thinks there might be objects of great value on her ship.
Perhaps even the necklace.
Friz is gonna shout at her. This one thinks she's tired of going through doors. So ship sounds nice.
All right, let's go on the ship. Mel's gonna go over to the console and see if she can open the airlock to board the ship.
All right, so you go in, close the airlock behind you, go to this one, and open it. Opens, no problem. You open that airlock, and then there's the door to the ship. It is not open.
Okay. Let me get the sense of the space a little bit more. Is everyone with me in the airlock space,
Yes.
or am I by myself here?
Everyone
I
with
am
you.
right behind you.
So we're all together. I guess it's Star Wars prequel time. We're busting out the lightsaber and trying to cut through the ship door.
Okay, so you put it in there and you stab into the door.
Make a small, near perfect circle over a long period of time.
Okay. So you sit there and you're like, and you start carving into it, and it's going to take a little while, but you can definitely keep trying until it goes through.
Okay.
All right.
Trying.
You sit there and you're Frizz. Are you going to help? Anybody do anything else?
I'm going to. Are there any panels on the outside of the ship?
There's nothing on the other side. There's
Okay.
It's just a panel to go in and out.
Okay.
Oh, there's hooks
I'm
like where you
going-
would hang stuff, but nothing pertinent.
I'm going to set up in case she comes up behind us while
Okay.
we're doing this with the blaster.
Okay, so you kind of set up and wait for it. Then you
This
can
is
make
gonna
a
help.
you can make a cool check. Everybody else has to make vigilance checks because you're actually looking where she's coming from.
Good thing my cool and vigilance are the same.
Wish I could make a vigilance check. Vigilance is better for me, actually.
All right.
You got this, Gand. You're so with it.
Mhm.
It's a lot of people there. Oh, that one became unhappy.
Two of them are unhappy. Three unhappy people.
All right. So y'all are sitting there, and all y'all you got your lightsabers. You both got your lightsabers, and they're stuck trying to carve through this. Just making this big old circle, melting the metal and stuff. And y'all are both working really hard, and all of a sudden, the doors behind you, Gand, open up, and you see two assassin droids and Gavanna right there with blasters.
Oh.
And you get to go. I've got 3 ahead of you, but you two need to figure out who's going to go first and second.
Gand is definitely going first, right? Like you're there with the blaster. I think you're the most alert of this. I mean, tell us if you want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go for the human.
Okay, you're going to shoot her. Go for it. She does get an extra bonus because she is partially blocked by the assassin droids.
And
So,
I'm gonna take some strain to aim.
okay, 3 purples.
Okay. And let's see how it goes.
Don't roll yet. Let me clear this out real quick, okay?
Okay.
So just hold on to it.
Sure, no problem.
All right, you may go ahead and roll. Those purples ate you up.
Oh yeah.
You can use your thing. So if you want to recover a strain,
I will recover a strain.
okay, you aim and you're like, and it just flies right past her. Who is next?
Probably.
Malika.
Yeah, I mean, she probably jumps around at the turn, and I guess there's a little bit of distance, so probably has to spend a maneuver to close in with the
Yes,
assassin
you definitely
droids.
have to spend a maneuver to get in.
Okay, so she'll spend a maneuver to close in with the assassin droids and brandish the hot with white metal lightsaber and slash at them.
Okay, go for it.
Lightsaber use. We've been studying it in books for a long time, and we've done a lot of practical application.
A lot with sticks.
It's a first, really using a lightsaber. She's very excited about it.
Okay, you come in and slash, and you hit one of the droids, doing what, 7 damage?
7 damage.
Okay.
With a breach characteristic of 1.
Yep.
Get out of here, droid armor. We don't need you.
Okay, you hit it. It takes a good chunk out of it, and then they get to go. The droid that's in front of you, Mel, takes a step back and then pulls up its blaster and goes, and you can hear the trigger go off.
Oh, she's got a lightsaber and knows how to reflect blaster bolts, just only with median proficiency.
Oh, well, let's see. Tries to shoot you and you kind of dodge out of the way. Your next check will have a black die.
Laying down suppressing fire.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep. These blaster bolts just shoot right past you. The other droid sees that happen and is like, yep, I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, and the blaster bolts just start peppering all around y'all. And it's just like hitting everything. It's just pretty close quarters. Nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, Gavanna goes, my turn. And the droids kind of step to the side and kind of just have their barrels around. And she takes this big old heavy blaster pistol and aims at Mel.
Finds herself mostly with anxiety, but a little bit with the Force.
And flips that over. She aims and goes. Oh, and does score a hit. Heavy blaster pistol. I totally forgot to write that down. Give me a second. Anybody have that readily available?
I actually do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Totally forgot to write that down.
I tabbed that page. Heavy blaster pistol is 7 damage.
So 7 damage. Has it got any things that?
Stun setting. Crit is 3.
Okay, I just want to make sure a crit wasn't 1. All right, so
Okay.
shoot you, hit you, and
So Mel soaks for 3, and then she reflects for 3, and then she'll take 1 wound and 2 strain.
okay. And she will use that to give one of her droids a blue die. So next is Gand?
No, Fizz.
Fizz.
Fizz has an action.
Oh, go for it, Fizz.
Yes.
Our real hero, the heart and soul of the group.
Go
Is
ahead.
going to shout, "No, Mel!" She is going to attempt to charge her and get to close combat.
With who?
What's that human's name?
Gavanna.
Gavanna, yes.
Okay.
The one and only Gavanna. I'm assuming she could just make it into close combat and probably do like a half action or something. She is going to bring up her lightsaber with her left arm and attempt to punch her gun out of her right arm.
That is sweet.
Sleight of hand.
Okay.
I'm not sure what kind of check that would be. That's a little tricky there.
It is just a regular combat check, not
Just
using.
combat?
Yeah. Because it's just
Okay.
punching. You are doing a called shot, so that will add a red die to the check.
Oh, sweet.
No,
3
that's not
purple?
sweet.
Oh yeah. Sweet for her.
Yeah.
That's kind of crappy, actually. The opposite of sweet.
All right, so 1 red and 2 perps.
You go in. You do hit her.
Yeah.
You do hit her, so you do some strain damage. You hit her, and she takes some strain damage as it hits her hand. But you do that, and all of a sudden, the blaster fires off, and you can hear this warning go off behind you. Woot, 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 as like the airlock is releasing. And it's venting air.
Oh no.
So,
Okay.
And I'm the only person here who has a environment suit.
Correct.
I'm the lightest person in the room, most likely, so that helps.
you can hear that.
Not.
What happened is you hit the hand, and her hand hit, and it shot. And as soon as it shot, it hit one of the control panels, and you can tell that the locks are trying to disengage. So, now we go to the next round. Who wants to do what?
I guess the Gand is gonna go first, right?
Yep.
It's up to y'all. You get to choose. You don't have to always choose.
Yeah, we
The
don't
same
have to
way.
always choose that way. Would Mel like to try and not disengage the locks?
I'll be honest. At this point, Mel's probably more likely to just jump past the opening to the airlock and continue to attack our foe here. In terms of hierarchy of needs here, she's big on like defeat the evildoer and then like don't die. In
Okay.
that order. She's mostly idealistically read about the Jedi Code in storybooks, so this is a really poor imitation of it.
So, who's going to go?
I'm just gonna shoot. Who is not currently locked in combat with a person?
Only one of the droids.
I'm gonna shoot that droid then.
So you don't take the negative bonus?
Yep.
Gotcha. Go for it.
Shooting me.
And then shoots Mel in the back and blows her. No.
No.
Who would
No.
know?
Not
I
shoot into
succeeded.
combat.
And I'm gonna recover a strain.
Okay.
So that should be 6 damage, I believe. What I said last time.
Yep.
I don't know. 9 damage. 9 damage from blaster rifle.
Okay. All right. Mel, Frizz.
So Mel's going to use her maneuver to move.
Okay.
Knowing the airlock might be like jettisoned soon, she's going to hope the ship's like emergency control systems are still intact or whatever, and that if she steps into the sort of the larger room rather than being in the airlock itself, the door will seal behind her or something like that. Mostly it's hope, a little bit it's knowledge of how science works. So she'll step into the room and she'll try to make an attack against Gavanna herself, whose droid sort of stepped aside for her to take her shot. So she's going to try to use that as an opening. It's the suppressing fire of the droids.
And don't forget, yeah, a black die this turn.
Black die, it's not ideal.
No. Ooh, still good.
Fine. She doesn't even care.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good.
Ooh. So,
Yeah.
9 damage?
6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, and she's gonna recover a strain.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You kind of leap past them, saber ripped up, strike down on her.
Laser sounds.
Laser sounds. Like that.
You jump through the airlock, skirt past, and kind of twirl when you come down and strike her, and she reels back in pain. And then it's their turn.
Can I say a thing? Is
Oh
that-
yeah, you're always willing to talk about and say stuff.
She's gonna demand surrender. She's gonna say, "Lay down your weapons, and we'll let you survive."
As you say that, she points the blaster right at your face and pulls the trigger. Never, bitch.
Or not. That's an option.
And she's gonna go ahead and take a blaster shot at you. Takes like a step back, and look at this. Y'all can never use them, so I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ah! This big old blaster comes in, you gonna take a parry of that?
We're gonna try to reflect some of that. Yeah, I don't think I can parry a laser bolt, but I might be able to reflect some of it.
Okay, so blaster was 7, so it's 9 damage, right?
Yes, and I can soak 3, reflect 3, and take 3. The old sampler.
And then the other 2 droids, one of them turns over to Fizz and just aims a blaster at her. Take 7 points of damage, Frizz. Your soak does count.
Okay, so
But you sit there and it shoots. And pretty much you can see it kind of like reels back from a fight and kind of stumbles over some stuff. And then the last one, gonna go after Gand. Ooh, this blaster shoots right past you, and you can hear. It kind of reminds you the airlock's opening as you look past, as where it hits.
Mm-hmm.
New turn. Who's gonna go with what?
first I want to point out I am.
Oh, wait,
I have
Frizz.
15 out of 15 wounds. Does that
Oh,
mean that
you
I
are
fall
unconscious. Yes.
She falls unconscious.
Okay. The
She's so
blaster
tired.
hits you, and and y'all all of a sudden you see Frizz go and kind of hit to the ground.
She pooped out.
You will take a critical injury. So let's see. You know what? I'm gonna let y'all want me to roll the critical injuries, or y'all want to roll the critical injuries on yourself?
No. Roll them for. I don't want to be responsible for my own severed limb.
Exactly.
All right.
I need to be able to be mad at you.
You gotta be mad at me somehow. All right, you do that. Let's see. You take a heavy wound, and all of a sudden, y'all look down, and you're kind of disparaged at this, and it flips a light side to a dark side. As Frizz falls
So
down,
bummed
her
out.
saber clanks on the ground, spins, and then goes out while it's spinning.
Ouch.
And so that takes this and deletes it. All right, you two have the initiative. Go for it. As you hear the airlock steel creaking and as alarms are going off.
You're up first. You got the warning shot of the airlock again. You're
Okay.
not tunnel visioned on this
I'm
antagonist.
going to. We don't have really a lot of time to be fritzing around with this combat. So I looked up the rules for maneuvers. Shooting is not taking one of my maneuvers.
Nope.
Okay.
So I can take the strain to aim twice,
Correct.
as opposed to taking the strain to aim once. So I take the strain to aim twice. I'm going to flip one of these guys. And what can I buy with that?
You can increase one of your dice from the green to a yellow.
Okay, we're going to do that. And I'm going to shoot at our not-so-friendly human friend.
The one that just took down Frizz-Biz.
Yep.
All right.
Avenge me.
You sit there and aim and try to get that down and try to kill him.
Is that standard difficulty?
Standard difficulty. No, it's standard difficulty.
Always got to be one of those threat there.
Dan just never has it.
I feel like Gand is very capable and very unlucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, incredible proficiency and fails despite it sometimes.
You shoot, and it hits it, and it does fall. And when it falls and crumbles, it lands on top of Frizz. And it's like you can see Frizz's body kind of twitch as it gets landed on by a droid.
I was aiming for our human friend.
Oh, the human? I thought you said non-human. Oh,
Human.
you aim for her. She's still up then.
Yeah. 11 damage.
Yep. Goes in, hits. She stumbles back a bit. And then all of a sudden, you're like, you hear the hiss of the locks going off.
That's a bad sound.
Mel?
Okay. So, are the locks like literally sealing right now, or do I have like a moment, or what's the situation?
The seals are coming off.
Okay.
It's unlocking from the ship.
If I wanted to pull Fritz's body inside the ship we're in, past the airlock,
That would be
that's,
your entire action.
yeah, that seems probably like an entire action.
Yeah.
It's like maybe a thing I should do.
Yeah, because you have to move her to her, pick her up, move her out of the way.
Okay. So Mel's gonna try to do that. Again, she's not super athletic, so she's gonna just kind of back out, lightsaber brandished, but then she kind of has to turn it off to use both hands, and then she's just kind of pull her out, and then like hopefully jump back into a defensive stance as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So it's awkward. She's probably gonna take some shots. Doesn't feel very good, but she has to save her friend. Like,
Gotcha. No,
She hasn't met a lot of people who are willing to stand for her, so. And Fritz has only run away from an encounter where Mel almost died once.
so
So
when you pull her
wise.
body, you don't just gently pull it. You kind of drag it really hard and fling her.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. It's no problem. It'll take a full action, even though she is tiny. Okay. And that's my turn. Droid 1 is going to shoot.
Mel's athletic ability leaves something to be desired.
Gonna shoot Gand. No damage. But we will use that to give the next shot a blue die. So 2 blue dice on this shot against you, Gand. This guy's gonna shoot you. 3, and then 2 blue because I got one from last round. Gonna roll to shoot you. Ooh. And we will do a critical effect with this. And recover a point. Recover 1 thing. And let's do for the critical effect. So you're going to take, 7 damage in it, correct, for the blaster? Heavy blaster?
Is it a blaster rifle?
No, it's a heavy blaster.
It's a heavy blaster, so 7 minus 2 is 5, so
Okay.
I'm at 9 wounds.
Okay, and let's roll this critical effect. Ooh. You get a purple to any brawn or agility checks. You have an agonizing wound as it tears through like part of your rib cage. So anytime you use brawn or athletic, which is pretty much melee attacks, pretty much.
We might have another problem that's even worse.
It's not going to affect your suit.
Okay.
Not worried about that.
Okay, cool.
You're still able
Because I treat oxygen danger as atmosphere rating 8.
Yeah.
So that's
That would kill you.
yeah. That's why I was like, oh crap, this should put a hole in that suit.
And
It was.
last one, she goes. She turns to Mel and goes, die. And does hit you for 9 damage. But she goes, boom, shoots you, you hits you, and then all of a sudden her gun kind of frizzes as you can tell that it's ran out of blaster. The battery is drained.
Well, once again, Mel's going to reflect as much of the bolt as she can, but she takes more to her body than she had cared to admit. She's feeling pretty roughed up and doesn't have a lot left in the tank.
All right, it is y'all's turn. Poor Frizz. Bleed, 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 bleed.
now
I'm
that
gonna have
Triz is
to make it into that inside before the doors close.
Okay, you can make it. You can move in without you use up one of your maneuvers.
Okay.
And as soon as you are you going to go first? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as you move in, the airlock closes right behind you. It's like your foot almost gets cut off by the airlock as it closes up behind you.
I'm gonna take an additional strain to do an extra maneuver and aim.
Okay.
Was it agility and brawn or
No.
brawn and athletics?
Brawn athletics.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
still
try
pretty
and
good
shoot
shooting,
someone.
Do what?
any preference on who?
Someone not in melee combat right now.
None of them are actually in melee right now because Mel had to move away to get Frizz through the airlock.
Okay, then I will target our not so friendly. I'll target Galvana.
Okay. She is actually the one that looks the most hurt, by the way. She's holding her side. No negatives this time. What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to recover a strain.
Okay. You recover a strain, and she takes, what, 8 damage?
8 damage.
She actually falls. You can see you blast her in the chest, and she flings back and lands in the back area behind the droids and in the doorway.
Okay. I guess Mel goes next.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna start off her action by saying like, "Your master is defeated. Stand down, and we'll leave you intact to the assassin droids." And she'll give them an opportunity to surrender.
You hear no type of response.
Well, Jedi Code's a little weird on this, so she'll just kill them.
Yep.
She slashes into
They're
the
not living.
Well, that's not really the definition of life. But yeah, no, let's end them then.
All right.
So she's gonna make an attack against one of them after she sees it's clear that they haven't put down their blaster.
No, they're definitely not.
The kid would surrender. So.
Oh. What are you gonna do with that?
He is gonna recover 2 strain.
Why don't you use the critical?
I have enough strain left to reflect blaster bolts.
But if you use that critical could take out a droid. Because it's a critical effect.
It's a little risk reward play right there. Well, right now I'm doing 8 points of damage that probably reaches his armor, so I think she has to play it a little conservatively, given that she's running out of people who are up on their feet.
Okay.
So she's gonna recover 2 strain, so she can still parry, and she's gonna do 8 points of damage with a breach characteristic of 1.
Okay. All right. So now it's the 2 droids. Let me delete that. One takes a shot at Gand. Takes 8 points of damage. Armor does count.
I have no armor, so I'm down.
No.
You have any soak?
I have soak of 2. 6 and 9 is 15.
Oh, okay. You shoot, and it hits you, and you fall down to the ground. And Mel, you're by yourself, but the droid is like, you can tell his battery pack is out.
Okay, so I guess it's back to me?
Oh, no, the droid's going to shoot you.
Okay.
Ready?
No.
So you take 8, and his gun blows up catastrophically from the last time you hit it, and goes completely out of his hand. So now they're fighting with bare fists.
Okay, Mel, can soak 3.
Uh-huh.
And then she can reflect 3 with the strain she recovered. And then she can take 2 wounds and go unconscious. Or maybe she could flip a light side point and be at 11 out of 12 wounds.
Yeah. Yep, I'll let you do that.
Cool. 11 wounds, 11 strain. It's not looking good. Our heroes are not dead yet. It's close. So I've got a droid with a battery pack of ammo that's out, and a droid who is still firing shots, right?
Correct. No. They're
So,
both of them are out.
okay.
Sorry, both of them are out.
Well, she's gonna adopt her best Jedi stance, and she's gonna say, "You're out of options and you're out of ammunition, and I'm still standing here, clearly unscathed. Stand down if you want to remain intact."
You say that, and the droids kind of look at you and make a cool check.
2 purple.
Yes.
Okay.
You kind of they're not really convinced by this, but all of a sudden you hear this blaster fire come off behind you, and you see one of the droids just body just explodes, and A7 goes, "I knew I shouldn't have left it to y'all." He's like, and all of a sudden one of the droids just explodes out of his chest, and the fire goes off, and the other droid turns around to A7 and shoots him. Let's see.
I was gonna just take a total defense and sort of back out. Clearly, A7's got this handled.
You still have initiative. Because I have to get rid of him.
All right, she's gonna try to lightsaber the last droid. She's
All right.
gonna try to finish him while she can.
The droid hits A7 a bit and does a little bit of structural damage. Yep, that'll do it. You definitely want to go for a crit on this one.
Okay, she'll recover 1 strain and go for a critical.
Okay, come on. Roll me. Roll it.
Okay, rolling.
Ah.
Single-digit criticals only.
Yeah. Well, it can only attack in the last of the round, like usual. So we'll upgrade that. And can't perform a maneuver this turn. But you actually kill it this turn because it didn't have much life left. Because of breach and no soaking.
Brutal.
Yeah, breach is brutal. All this damage goes straight to the droids. That's the problem. They don't get to soak or anything. So you actually come in and slice it, and it hits and does quite a bit of damage to it and just crumbles it to the ground. A7 looks at you, kind of holds you, and goes, "Are you all right?"
I'm still breathing, so that's something. I need to check on my companions, and Mel rushes over first to Fitz and then to Gand, and she tries to apply whatever medicine she can.
You reach over and you kind of look down, and A7, you hear this click of a cartridge and hands you a stim pack.
I used my last one in the combat with our Kraken. I'll tell you all about it later. She injects, heals 5 wounds. And if there's another cartridge in it, she'll do the same with the Gand.
There is.
Medicine knowledge, Gands can take stim packs, right? Kill 'em?
Oh, yeah, I figured it could. It's a cross-platform type thing. You just want to...
She's not going to breach his suit to do it, but presumably there's a valve of some kind where I can
Yes.
not vent oxygen into him.
Yeah, that would be bad. Bad.
Cool. Okay. Excellent. Everyone is fine. She's going to stim pack herself while we're at it. She's not in the best place.
Okay. Everybody does wake up. You still have your wounds and your criticals until you're completely healed. Other than that, you see A7. He's just kind of leaning against the wall, just kind of like looking at y'all.
After attending to the wounds, Mel says thank you. I don't know if we would have finished that on our own.
Tim, you're cutting out.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, you saved us. Sorry, I was speaking at a sensitive and low volume, which is to say losing the Skype channel.
Well, he kind of, you can see the light flickers in his eyes and stuff, and he's like, "Well, Turk told me to keep an eye on you, right, Turk?" And you hear Turk come around the corner. Yep, as he's kind of like limping and kind of, getting his way towards you. And he's like, "So, did they die?" And A7's like, "Almost."
He's not wrong. Mel's gonna take a moment to go look at Gamora. Is she alive?
Oh, she's dead. She's dead.
Okay. Does she happen to have like the necklace on her?
She does have to have a necklace on her. When you do
Okay,
a quick search her, she does have a necklace on her.
We're gonna gonna retrieve that and whatever else we can see on her person if there's anything of obvious value, and then we're gonna take the necklace over to Turk and say, better late than never.
Well, we got to find the holocron still.
Step
Oh
one.
yeah, holocron.
So, where is it?
It might be on her ship. I mean, we're gonna look through the droids and her. Presumably, they don't have it on them.
Nope.
In that case, I think we have to keep looking for it. It's probably on the ship somewhere.
This ship or the ship that just flew away?
The ship flew away.
Yeah. It's when you breached the airlock, the ship just said, forget it, and just took off.
If she was still on this ship, she hasn't found it yet.
Now that's a good assumption. I think it's still on this ship, but you never know. I don't know what kind of team she's working with. Honestly, last I thought she was on our side. She was the libraries.
Well, there's always spies.
Okay. If she was working alone, the holocron's probably still on the ship. If she was part of a team or some kind of an organization, then they may already have it on the ship that took off. I think it's probably worth our time to continue to investigate this ship and see if it's here.
Okay. Go ahead. You got that door behind you, and then the door that was straight forward whenever, you get out. You got one, like, if you're looking from where the airlock was, you got one straight in front of you and one to your right.
Okay, and one of those is the one that we came in through, right?
No, that one's to your left.
Okay. Don't go left, go right, I guess?
Okay.
Is that the...
Okay.
Never go left.
Left is danger. We go right.
Okay, you go to the right, and you notice that it's a science lab.
Okay, well, Mel's immediately interested, but
Okay.
also a little unsure. She's gonna uncharacteristically take her time and investigate the science lab, see what's going on.
Give me a vigilance check. 2 purples. Or not vigilance, perception, sorry.
Cunning. A skill I know nothing about. Oh, sorry, 2 purples.
That's okay, we can average it out. You look around, you're like, this is a lot of cool stuff. I like this stuff. You're looking around and you don't see, you're interested, but you're not finding anything worth it.
More unluck from the GAN.
You look around, you're like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Nothing seems to appear or pop out to you.
Fizz is a bit of a follower, and she's just gonna do the same thing.
Ollie knows what to look for.
She is pretty cunning.
You find, actually, you're like, hey, what does this do? And you like hit the button, and all of a sudden, all the metal that's on you gets attracted to it. It's an electromagnetic pull, and like the lightsaber you had is like straining to struggle to hit and get on the electronic device.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Is it supposed to do this? Is this the thing?
As y'all get kind of closer, you can feel anything that's metal on you is getting pulled toward this electronic magnet.
I'm going to choose not to get closer.
It's pretty strong. You can actually feel yourself being pulled towards it, Frizz, as you can feel your belt loop where the saber was actually kind of dragging you towards it.
I'm going to drop it on the ground and hope my belt buckle or my shoe buckles aren't metal as well.
Okay. You drop it, it's still pulling toward you. Can still feel like you're being pulled towards it.
Oh, I hate this thing. Do
Does
you
it have
guys
an
know what
off
this horrible
switch?
thing is?
It looks like a magnet. Did you turn it on? Can you turn it off?
She's going to kind of slap around it bongo style, just trying to see if anything happens at all.
Okay, you're like smashing it, going, "Ah, turn off," and you're slapping it, and eventually it just shuts stuff off. You eventually hit one of the many buttons, and it turns it off, and
I
everything
knew it
comes
was that
back.
button.
Yeah.
Very, very clever.
Thank you.
All right. Other than that, there's no more doors in this room.
I guess we back at a straight corridor from where the airlock was.
Yep. You go to that one. You open it up. As you notice, Turk and A7 are just kind of watching y'all. They're not really doing anything. So they sit there, and you come back to that door, open it up, and it opens up this large oval room.
Okay.
Go on in.
Yeah, Mel's gonna go on in.
Okay.
See what's going on.
Okay. You go in and you look around, and it's kind of it's oval shaped like an egg, and it's kind of pitted, so it's got a dip and indentation to it, and you notice some robes in the center.
Some rogues.
Robes.
Okay. That makes more sense. Mel's gonna go check out the robes.
Okay.
There's no one in them.
Nope.
They're on the floor.
You move in, and you start to see that you notice that there's like armor all around the place too that has like blaster fire into it and lightsabers through it. You can see lightsaber damage to the armor.
Okay. Could might be a bit of a stretch, but could I use like a knowledge warfare check to sort of get a sense of what happened? In this room?
Yeah. You can go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Like all things that require knowing, Mel knows a lot about them.
Okay. You sit there and you look around, and you can tell that there was a combat that was done here. Whoever this robe figure held off a lot of these people right in here, but eventually succumbed to the damage. There was just too much damage done to whoever was defending this area and defending right where they were standing, where the robes were.
Like, is there a body, or is it just the robes are gone?
Just the robes, but you can tell when you pick it up, you can see where there's wounds, blaster marks through the robes. But you can tell that they by way everything was done, the saber combat that was done, this person was standing directly on this spot and did not move the whole time. Because you can tell that some of the sabers are not like really deep slashing. They're like hits directly, horizontal, or, you can see that some people may have been thrown.
Okay. I was gonna retrieve the robes and just hang on to them. There's obviously some significance to them, and she.
You're cutting out again, Tim.
Oh, sorry. There's obviously some significance to these robes, and they belong to somebody. So she's gonna take them
Okay.
and retrieve them and put them in her pouch, and then just sort of like wander around the room, kind of studying the scene, sort of get a bit more of a.
All right, you would need to do everybody. I'm figuring everybody's going to be doing that. You need a perception test for difficulty.
Good at that.
Question.
Yep.
How many difficulty would it be to look and see if any of the armor is salvageable?
If you want to do that instead, you can really tell a lot of this is old and rusted and not even worth it. Okay. So not even worth trying. There's a huge layer of dust and junk all through this. It's been here for a long time.
Is it 4 purple?
It is 4 purple to search this area out.
Fizz is gonna grumble the whole time. I can't believe we're looking at dirty old laundry. Her role reflects her mood.
Okay. All right. You all look around. You're like, something's not right here. Something's not
and
right.
is going to sit down, say a prayer for the dead, and meditate.
Okay.
I believe I could make some kind of discipline check to meditate.
Yep. Go for it. Okay. You're kind of disturbed by everything that's going wrong because of all the death and destruction that's in this, but you're like something's about the spot where they stood, where he stood. There's something about that spot. After the few minutes of your contemplating and thinking about what's going on.
I'm going to alert Mel that there's something about the spot.
Mel's gonna walk back over to the spot. She doesn't necessarily know a lot about what kind of combat this would have been or what this feels like, but she's read a ton about kind of Jedi lore and ancient traditions and religions.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna look at the ground and see if there's any sort of signs or if there's any sort of feeling she gets from it.
Okay. Go over and meditate a bit. Kind of check it out.
Yeah, give it some time and some thought.
Okay. You are now reduced down to 3 purples to do a perception check.
All right. Not getting anything from it, but feeling closer to the problem.
Cand will try and perceive something.
Okay.
Still unlocked. Yep. Those threats just keep popping up.
Ged, you're just like, yeah, I'm done. I don't see
Yep.
nothing.
Okay. At a bit of an
What's
impasse,
special about that spot?
I was gonna go back and see if she can track down Turk. Explain the situation and ask if he'll come have a look at it.
Okay, you walk off. Frizz, what are you going to do? You going to check it out too?
Yes. She is so fed up with this room.
Go ahead and roll. Sorry.
Oh,
Perception and give it 3 purples. Okay. You're like, wait a minute. I feel this kind of moving. And you have this sinking suspicion that there's something right here that can only be moved by the Force.
she's gonna shout out, hey guys, wait a minute here. There's something strange about this. She hasn't really done much. She could definitely make an action. She is going to try to bring herself into focus in this spot, I guess through some type of meditation. Try to maybe push down on it, see if it's like a button or something.
Okay.
What the heck kind of check would that be?
You're going to use
Should be
move.
using the force power
Move.
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, move force.
Move force, okay.
Or force move or whatever. Move force.
Mel does not have move force.
Yeah, I think you limited yourself on force powers.
She just doesn't. She doesn't have a mentor or any kind of classical study of it.
Sorry, I'm just
You
looking
have
at
more
my chart here.
likelihood of having force powers than the GAN.
You just roll. You roll 1 force power die.
One force die. I was gonna say,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know if I'm really that good at the force, or
Nope.
at least as good as I think I am.
No, you just roll 1 force die.
Okay. And force die is the white die.
Yep.
Ooh, look at you.
You sit there and you push down and it doesn't move, but you definitely know that this thing moves.
Okay. Darn it. Well, I'm gonna back up from him and say, hey, who knows anything about moving stuff? With powers, things that got going on.
Here's the thing. You know it's not going to go down, but it definitely can move. And when you ask about anybody else that has force powers, they'll kind of like blank stare.
I don't know if she's smart enough to push up on it.
Pull.
Yes, just shows how smart she is. Fizz is going to try one more time since she hasn't really done much with her action to pull on it.
Okay. Give me a roll. You're like straying. You're like, okay. Um, it's you feel like you're trying, and it's trying to move up. You're just not concentrating hard enough.
She is going to fall back. She's only able to push up herself. Do you think she has the ability to attempt a third time? I mean, she's really quite
No,
exhausting herself.
yeah, you feel like you can get this. You've got to prove yourself.
She is going to do a shimmy and try one more time. And really give it her all.
You do it, and it starts to lift up slowly, and it's shaking and it's moving, and it you can feel it. So are you going to hold this force power, or are you going to let it go?
She's going to hold it for 10 seconds, just enough time for everyone else to really see what's going on over here.
Oh, they hear it. They see it. No problem.
They see it.
Yeah.
What do I do, you guys?
Is there anything underneath it?
It's not fully up yet. You can tell that it's a pretty thick piece of metal. But it's coming up slowly. You're going to keep holding this force power?
Yeah, she's going to go ahead and try to really pull it up, see if there is anything underneath of it.
All right, and it's oh yeah, and you're eventually yeah, and it goes up real slowly, and then you just really put some in it. You put really focus, and it comes up really fast, and there is actually a hole underneath there, and you can kind of lay it to the side.
Oh, she drops it. She's tired.
Yeah. Does it make a fair bit of noise?
Yeah, it does. Because she kind of she's like, forget that, and just drops it right away after it's out of the area.
At the noise, I think Mel probably comes rushing back into the room.
Yep.
Surprised and a little impressed at the exhibition of such powerful mastery of the Force.
I was going to stand there really proud.
She gives Friz kind of a respectful nod and a little bit of a reappraising look, and glances over at the opening that's been created by this piece being moved.
Yeah, just a circular area, and you find a cube down in the bottom of it.
Approximately holocron shaped.
Very much a holocron.
Okay. Mel's gonna look at the Gand and look at Fritz and say, "This looks like the holocron we're looking for. I've read that these can be dangerous to touch. Is this safe?"
The Gand is going to actually walk over and touch the thing, since he is not force sensitive and probably can't accidentally activate it.
Okay, you go over there and you touch it. It turns itself on, and you hear this voice, and you see this old man. Everybody make a perception roll.
2 purple?
Yes, 2 purple. Mel, nothing. Gand and Frizz. Frizz sees it, and Gand sees it. You notice that the robes look very familiar. And it's the robes of the Jedi appearing on top of this holocron is the robes of the Jedi robes that you found. Very easily distinguishable. And you hear the thing comes on, and you hear this goes, "My name is Val Issa. And I was the protector of the ship, and I failed."
Aww.
And he starts talking about, the life on the ship and what the ship was. Are you going to stand around and listen to everything, or what's going to...
Mel certainly is. This is the most that she's felt to a Jedi story since her studies years ago.
Well, you sit there and you listen to it, and he's like, "What can I do for you?" eventually.
So his story tells about how he's the protector of the ship. Does it talk at all about the mission of the ship or its purpose or anything like that?
He's like, "Well, our purpose was to provide sanctuary and home to other Jedis and train them as we traveled the galaxy."
How did you fail? Who attacked you?
Sith attacked us. You cut out, Tim.
Sorry, I said Sith skeptically. That's all.
Okay. He's like, the Sith came in, use their Kraken to destroy part of our ship, and then I succumbed to too many blaster fire and just couldn't keep it alive.
Air Kraken? Is that a unique droid or is it a class of droid? We fought a Kraken and
It is. It is. That's what destroyed all my crew.
oh. Why did they attack you? What were they here for? Is this just a war between rival religions, or is there something more specific to their assault?
The Sith have no reason. They just kill.
Indeed, but okay, fair enough.
Fizz is gonna jump in and ask a question. She's gonna say, when did all this happen?
What year is it?
What year is it?
You rattle off the year. We're not going to go into because I don't know that date. I don't know that date because you give the date of whatever is after the fall of the empire, and he doesn't recognize that at all.
Oh, so this is something that's probably perhaps a century old, you'd say?
He has no clue.
Okay, definitely didn't happen like last week.
No.
This was not something that happened
Good
on
enough.
Tuesday.
Well, it happened a long time ago, you guys.
Interesting.
You start hearing the ship start moving and shuddering, and you hear this very familiar hiss that you're used to hearing when you open the other door, and you can tell the ship is starting to fall apart. And everybody make a perception roll.
Was just encapsulated in this actor's story and does not notice anything else.
Gads notices definitely that you've noticed that the ship has actually moved further than you thought it was, and it's heading toward a star.
Let's
Right.
get out of here.
We can
wrap
take
this
the
up,
holocron,
folks.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Holocrons move.
Yeah,
Okay. Mel collects the holocron. I guess closes it or
it's just
whatever
a cube.
is necessary.
It projects a
Okay.
hollow projection on the top of it.
Okay.
and-
She's gonna tuck it into her belt pouch and head back toward where Turk and her droid companion are waiting.
You hear on a device, each one of you sit there and you hear on your belt, you hear A7, get your butt on the ship now.
Well, I book
Alright.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
Mel's running too.
Okay, y'all head back, get on the ship, lights up, airlock closes as you feel the ship is that you can actually feel that this thing is being pulled towards that star, and you can see it. You can feel that it's breaking up and it's shuddering, and all of a sudden you hit the buttons and close all the airlocks and jump in, and you can look at some of the windows and everything that's around your ship, and you can see it's heading towards the star. It's just breaking up as it's going, and Turk's like, I guess it's time to go now, huh?
I'd say so.
Okay. He turns it on and lights it up and heads out. You'll go into hyperspace. Y'all are going headed back to Korriban. You have about 4 days or so worth of travel.
Okay. Mel's gonna queue up the holocron again and ask some more questions of this protector.
Okay. I'm going to go and tell you what it does. You can ask and you can do things, but what it does is you can count medicine as a discipline when you as long as you keep this in your possessions. So anybody that makes a medicine check can make that medicine check as a discipline check. Count discipline and medicine as career skills. Excuse me.
Oh, that's nice.
Makes it, cheaper to get better at them, right?
Yeah, and it also makes them easier to roll. Also, if you're trying to do a knowledge lore about the Jedi, this one counts as 3 ranks when making an assisted check. So someone may want to write that down so they can have that information for later. Because it is, as long as you have the item in your possession, you can use that. And that's what it gives you. So discipline and medicine as career skills, And knowledge lore check for Jedi. You can use the holocron to make an assisted check with 3 ranks.
One of discipline and medicine as career skills. Oh, apparently these are very difficult to acquire on the black market.
Yes. Yes, they are. So you head back to Korriban. You may heal up and get rid of all of your wounds and stuff. 4 days. You can only do 1 medicine check a day, but I'm not going to worry about it because there's no immediate danger. So everybody can reset to 0. Of course, Turk asks you all the questions that, about what happened, what's going on, etc., etc. And I'm sure you're going to
Mel
relay.
answers honestly and completely. She tells him everything. She puts the Kraken that they battled in context as the thing that sort of seems to have, if not this specific Kraken, certainly a Kraken defeated the crew, and we saw the Battle of the Protector, and we interacted with this holocron. We retrieved the Jedi relic we were originally hired to retrieve, so better late than never.
Mm-hmm.
And lightsabers are great.
And he goes, yeah. And as you come on, A7's like, give them to me.
Sir, the lightsaber that is not hers back.
Okay.
She says, I'm going to learn how to make one of these, and when I do...
Kim, you're cutting out again.
I'm going to learn how to make one of these.
Okay. And definitely A7 looks at you, Frizz, and goes, give it, Squirt.
I was gonna say, what lightsaber? I think I lost that when I fell asleep back there, and I pull it out.
Yeah. And then he takes them and puts them back in a safe spot, locks them up, and stuff. So, like I said, you have about 4 days. So, like I said, you can heal up. I'm sure you repeat everything to Turk, and you can spend time with the holocron learning about things. And then you land on Korriban. You come down. The council asks you, Turk asks you to repeat, pretty much what you told him at the council. I mean, are you going to change anything? Keep everything the same?
I'll ask him if he doesn't want said, or if there's anything he'd like us to raise in a more positive light, if he has any concerns.
Tell the truth.
As long as he's comfortable with it, Mel's going to be encyclopedic. Incredible memory and is really smart, so she's just going to go through things the same way a scientist would.
Okay.
It's her training. It's the entire engagement wholly empirically. Does not fail to disclose any of the moments of embarrassment that she personally suffered or any of the challenges that they encountered. And she offers up the holocron, indicating that while it has been a boon to her study and how she's appreciated interacting with it, it is an artifact of Jedi lore.
Okay. Well, they definitely want the Jedi holocron so they can study it and find out what it knows. So they request it to be turned over.
Mel does turn it over, although she feels somewhat.
Yeah. Tim, you're gonna have to get that mic really close to you because you keep cutting in and out every time.
Sorry. I said Mel turns it over, although she feels reluctant about the experience.
Okay. No problem. They appreciate everything you did. They of course all the artifacts you found to be turned over. They take them and study. They appreciate it. And they send you back to your studies. Gand, they request that you go back to the library, and they want you to look at this new planet and plot a course to this one specific spot on this planet.
I would like to speak to our Chandra friend first.
Okay. We don't know where he's at right now. We kind of don't know. Even Turk's like, yeah, I don't know where he's at right now either.
Alas, I shall go and return to the library to my studies.
Okay. They direct you to, they give you some time to relax and everything, but they definitely say that you need to return to your studies. So you can get about a day or two off, and send you back to learning about being a Jedi. And gained, you have a chance of taking and plotting about 2 days to plot this course.
Mm-hmm.
So
With the permission of the people who are obviously running the studies here, Mel's going to ask if she be placed in a class and take some study of Jedi knowledge, refine her own force ability.
yeah, they definitely. That's what you're here for. You're here to hone your skills and not just become a mechanic for them. So they definitely can get you together, and they'll run you through the courses, just like Friz is doing. She's learning to be a Jedi, and
I
they're
get to be
just
enrolled with the other 5-year-olds.
yeah, hone your skills. Other than that, for about 2 days, that's what happens. You heal up your wounds, get your wounds taken care of, eat, have a decent meal. Gand, I need a navigation check from you.
Navigation. What roll do I make for navigation?
Hold on, I have to look through all these. Um,
Is it a piloting
actually,
roll?
actually, you need to do a to find it. You need to
Navigation?
first things first is you need to give me a computer's check to see if you found the place and know the information. And depending on
Okay.
that will depend on if you're
Not the best with computers, but
that's fine.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Well, it's about normal for me.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly
You find the
right.
planet, and you know where you're going. So now you just need to plot a course to where you're going to need to go. And that it will be a computer check, excuse me.
Okay.
You're like, not really sure. This is kind of way out on the outer rim. So you can actually try tomorrow, and you can change one of your greens to a yellow,
Okay.
based on previous knowledge. So everybody's got another day to hang out and do what they need.
I would like to, after dinner or something, meet with I can't remember his name now.
Turk,
Our Turk.
Turk.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can meet with him. He's perfectly fine. He's just kind of relaxing stuff too, doing his duties. What can I help you with?
Turk. You and
Yeah.
I both know that the mysticism of the Gand Feynman is really cold reading and carefully thinking about things and knowing the right people.
Yep.
I happen to know that some people are interested in trying to steal from you.
Always.
They are interested, and I proceed to tell Turk about which building they are interested in finding plans for.
Okay. He takes that into consideration and says,
Would you like to set a trap for them?
I think we might be able to do that, depending on when you decide to turn that information over.
I am willing to wait on you guys for turning that information over.
Okay. Well, let's worry about
Alright.
what we got right now. And I'll give you the signal, and you can turn that over.
Okay. I assume that the Jedi have set up a room for me where I don't have to be in my spacesuit.
24/7. Yeah, they've got a place where you
Yeah.
can set up. So go ahead and give another roll. The Jedi's y'all are just in training, learning how to hone your abilities. They start teaching you the Force, Mel, because you know about it, but it's never been really good. Standard with you. You can't get away from that.
I can't.
All right, so
I'm lucky.
you find it, and you actually got a course plotted to this outer rim region. And you tell Turk about it, and he's like, "Well, let's go talk to the council because we have another mission."
Okay.
All right. So a few days passed. You're all summoned back to the council. And Turk's standing there with A7, And the council's like, we've been hearing some problems on the outer rim. Civilization's being destroyed at a whim. We hear from him one day, the next day we hear nothing. And we need you to go find out what's going on. This is a covert mission. This is not a combat mission. We need you to get in, find out what's going in, find out what's going on, and get out. Understood?
Prince is going to
Understood.
ask, do we still get to take our lightsabers?
You don't have a lightsaber, Padawan.
Well, we might get one. I might have to cut a hole in something.
Well, then we'll
Quietly.
get you a torch.
Very well. We can be covert and discover what we can. What are you hoping for us to learn? Civilizations? What's going on?
We want to know why these civilizations are just disappearing. We've already sent 30 other scouting parties to 30 other planets.
And what did
This
they
one is
report
going
back?
to guess that they didn't report back.
They left this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, great. More of many scouting parties that will all return safely.
They says you need to leave now.
Can requisition something from the quartermaster again that's not a lightsaber?
No.
Like maybe some medical equipment?
You've got what you need on your ship.
Okay.
Turk's already had you packed up.
All right. Well, then we'll leave post haste and report right back.
Okay.
Did Turk pack us up some armor this time?
You'll have to see when you get there. You get on, you get to the ship, and A7's standing there, and he's like, I got your coordinates from you, Gand. Let's go ahead and get going. All right. And you get on the ship, get in your normal spots. You're used to being where you're at. Closes the hatch, and then A7 goes up to the control panels and stuff, and goes up to the area and starts the ship up and starts to fly off. You start to hit hyperspace, and as soon as you do, A7 turns around you and goes, Turk said, good luck. And then you hit hyperspace, and this is where we're going to end.
Oh.
Ooh.
Tim, what's wrong with your face?
I'm just taken aback.
I was going to ask if A7 needed a co-pilot because Gand actually has piloting space.
You are more than welcome to sit there.
Okay.
But yes, Turk is not on the spaceship.
Oh, we're graduating to you'll probably all die now mode.
I bet those other parties got lightsabers.
But still having a lightsaber. We have to work on building one.
Yep. This is where we're going to go and lead.
Too.
We're going to lead off here. You were A7 tells you that there has been some massive amounts of attacks on the outer rim, and civilizations or huge cities and large, settlements have just disappeared. They don't know what's happened. They try to communicate, nothing happens. Okay? So they're trying to figure out what's going on. They don't know, and that's the reason why they said there's 30 of them. So they sent all these scouting ships out to find out what happened to these civilizations or communities on the outer rim. It's going to only take you maybe a day or two to get there, based on the plotting, because A7 was able to help. You do not have armor. You've got what you got on you.
Darn.
I'll have 5 credits to my name.
So we're gonna go
My
and
rifle.
yep. So we're gonna hold it there.
Take that away from me.
And we will try to figure out. We'll get together and do it. I'm going to go and close down Facebook Live and Twitch. If you're watching, guys, if you want to watch more, let us know. If there's anything you want me to explore with them, I'm all open for suggestions. You just got to remember that this is very far in the future, so it's nothing new. Give us comments, suggestions. We are still learning the rules pretty much, so we'll get stuff wrong, but we're having fun with it. So it doesn't matter. Other than that, we're going to sign off from Twitch, and we will come back later.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye, guys.